Well, hi there! Get ready for 13 weird things people believe in different countries. Fear of the number 4, being happy after stepping in dog poo, never wearing red during a storm. No, these aren't some strange tics, but just a few examples of superstitions that different nations believe in. Want to find out about even more fascinating and bizarre ones? Then keep watching. But before we set out on this odd journey around the world, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon to join us on the bright side. Number 1. Chinese people avoid the number 4. Now, according to Chinese traditions, there are two groups of numbers: those that bring prosperity and those that signal misfortune. The number 4 is part of the unlucky group. The reason why it's considered a bad number is because in Chinese it sounds really similar to the word death. And they take this superstition very seriously. Some buildings in East Asia don't have a 4th floor, and drivers there try to stay as far away from license plates with 4 in them as they can. So, if you ever go to China, you probably won't find any trace of this number in the whole country. And by the way, fear and avoidance of the number 4 is called tetraphobia. There will be a quiz at the end of the video. Number 2. Swedish people don't put their keys on the table. So, where do you put your keys when you come home? Usually on the table, right? Well, Swedish people go to great lengths to make sure they don't do so. And that's because, in their culture, setting keys on the table is considered, well, really bad luck. So, even today, if you unknowingly put your keys on the table, your Swedish friend will most likely hand them back to you or put them someplace else. Number 3. British people always say "rabbit, rabbit" on the first day of the month. Really? Have you heard this? Every nation has its own little rituals for good luck. Cross your fingers, knock on wood, put your finger up your nose and spin around 3 times while reciting the Declaration of Independence. No? Just me. Anyway, for people in the UK, apparently it's the phrase "rabbit, rabbit." The origin of this superstition is unknown, but the first mention of it dates back to 1922. According to it, you have to say the word "rabbit" 3 times in a row first thing in the morning on the first day of the month. If you do exactly so, you'll get a present before the end of the month. This ritual changed over time, and now people believe that saying "rabbit" just 2 times is enough to attract good luck in your life. So, who knows? Maybe we should all try this trick out next month. You first. Number 4. Oops, except for you, Chinese people. Italians try not to spill olive oil. Forget about spilling salt. It's your olive oil that you have to be careful with in Italy. Italians believe that accidentally spilling olive oil will bring bad luck and misery. The explanation for this seemingly weird superstition is pretty logical. Years ago, olive oil was a really expensive and hard-to-get luxury item that only a few Italians could afford. So the idea of wasting even a drop of this pricey possession scared people. With time, this fear turned into a superstition that's still pretty common among the population. Number 5. Koreans never give their partners shoes, though you can still give Dobby a sock. If you have a Korean boyfriend or girlfriend, one thing is certain: they'll never buy you a new pair of shoes. And it's not because they don't love you, it's just that they're afraid of losing you. This popular superstition states that giving your significant other shoes as a gift will make them run away from you in those very shoes. The same thing goes for clocks and watches. They're believed to bring bad luck to whoever you give them to, since the pronunciation of the phrase "give a clock" in Korean is almost the same as sending someone off at a funeral. So, if this is true, you should never buy someone the farm either. Number 6. Icelanders believe that knitting outside prolongs winter. Iceland is a magnificent country that rarely treats its citizens to warm weather. So it's only natural that Icelanders would want the cold to go away sooner than later. And that's exactly why Icelandic superstition forbids knitting on your doorstep during winter. Otherwise, you'll prolong the cold season. So, if you're ever visiting Iceland in the winter, you better keep your knitting indoors. Number 7. Japanese people never sleep facing north. No matter how tired they are, a Japanese person will never fall asleep with their head facing north. As for the explanation, it's pretty grim. At funerals in Japan, the casket is always positioned with the deceased's head to the north. That's why Japanese people are extremely careful when setting up beds in their homes, since sleeping in this direction is believed to bring bad luck and constant misfortunes. Number 8. Germans often knock on the table in a pub. If you ever meet up with your German buddy in a pub, don't be surprised if you see them knocking on the table 2 times before sitting down. This is an ancient German tradition that some people still hold on to. You see, some time ago, all pub tables were made of oak, which was believed to be a holy tree that no evil can touch. From that moment on, Germans started to knock on this holy wood to assure their friends that they're actually themselves and not some evil spirit who's taken over their soul and body. Of course, these days this superstition isn't as strong as it was before, but you can still see some Germans knocking on the table as a greeting. And of course, that means the other people not knocking on wood are in fact possessed. Number 9. French people consider stepping in dog poop lucky. No, you heard right. Lucky, not unlucky. Well, there's a catch with this French superstition, because it can go either way for you. Simply speaking, people in France believe that stepping in dog poop with your left foot means that good luck awaits you, after you clean the poo off your shoes, of course. But if you step in it with your right foot, your future may not be so bright. The French are sure that this signifies a life full of despair. So yeah, be careful where you're putting that right foot of yours. Number 10. Filipinos never wear red during storms. The Philippines faces its fair share of tropical storms and even has certain superstitions connected to it. The most popular one states that you should avoid wearing red during a storm, given that it's believed to attract lightning, which can easily strike one to death. In any other situation, though, Filipinos enjoy this bold color just as much as the next person. So I can hear the weathercaster now. 75% chance of storms tomorrow, 0% chance of red. Number 11. Norwegians never whistle towards the sun. Well, that makes sense. In most cultures around the world, whistling is connected with either joy or financial loss. In Norway, though, it's all about nature and the weather. Norwegians believe that when you whistle in the direction of the sun, you basically tempt fate and call the rain. And who wants a perfectly sunny day to turn into a rainy storm? So, when in Norway, don't test the patience of people who genuinely believe in this superstition and avoid whistling towards the sun. Number 12. Russians never give yellow flowers to their loved ones. How would you feel if someone gave you yellow flowers? They're so bright and uplifting, right? Well, people from Russia couldn't disagree with you more. They believe that yellow flowers signify separation and divorce. This superstition comes from an ancient legend about a sheikh who returned home from a military campaign just to find out that one of his wives, had been unfaithful during his absence. Forget the double standard here and just play along. So he placed a red rose in her bed, and the next morning it had turned yellow. And to this day, yellow flowers are a symbol of cheating and breakups for people in Russia. Number 13. Spanish people eat 12 grapes on New Year's Eve. If you're looking for a cool New Year tradition, why not celebrate like they do in Spain? The Spanish eat one grape with each bell strike at midnight on New Year's Eve going into New Year's Day. They do this to ensure that the following year will bring them prosperity and happiness. The practice dates back to 1895, but became fully established only in 1909. You really should give it a try. Since it's not easy to gulp down a grape on each chime, it always leads to fun family competitions and genuine laughs. What a great way to start the new year, right? Just don't choke on your lucky grapes. And finally, here's the quiz I mentioned. What is the fear and avoidance of the number 4 called? That's right, tetracycline, or something like that. Hey, do you know any other weird superstitions from around the world? Like in the US, with the missing 13th floor in buildings? Tell us in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a like, share it with your friends, and click subscribe to stay on the bright side of life. Or something like that.